Hi, this is Jeff Heaton. Welcome to Applications of Deep Neural Networks with Washington University. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a Mac, in particular a newer Mac, one of the M1s that have the Apple Silicon rather than Intel, with Keras, TensorFlow, everything you need for the course in deep learning. If you have a Windows computer or if you have an older Intel Mac, I have other videos on those which are linked in the descriptions, and I suggest you take a look at one of those. There's a few steps to this. It's really not that bad, and I do want to explain some of the differences between the MiniForge and Miniconda versions that you will encounter with this. Also, if you don't want to install the actual software onto your computer, you can make it through the entire course with Google Colab. If you watched some of my other videos, you'll know that I use Miniconda and Anaconda quite a bit. These are two Python platforms in particular, both made by the same group, that you can use on just about any platform, be it Windows, Mac, or Linux. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use MiniForge. And MiniForge is something new, at least to me. MiniForge is supported on a variety of platforms as well, but I've started using it primarily on the Apple M1. I suggest trying to get by entirely with MiniForge and not necessarily even installing Anaconda, because you will need both of them installed if you do want to make use of Anaconda. If you're using Anaconda, you're not going to necessarily or really at all be able to access the GPU acceleration that Apple has built into this computer. So on this machine, I am going to show you how to install MiniForge, and it'll just be MiniForge without Anaconda. I do actually run both of them on my Mac. I might do another video on that. If you're interested in seeing how to run them side by side, definitely let me know. But the point is, MiniForge, if you look at the reasons that they have these, an emphasis on supporting various CPU architectures, including Apple M1. Personally, it annoys me a little bit that I can't run everything through Miniconda and I have to have two entire Python instances on my Mac, but that's the way they want to do it. So let's go to my class's website. There's various instructions on how to do this. I am going to take you through the process that I've somewhat developed based on others. This is a little different than some of the ones that you will see here, but I think it's pretty streamlined and it gets you everything that you need for my course installed. If you go to T81 Deep Learning and you go into Install, there's a variety of files here because, for one thing, they keep updating these various platforms, and the instructions for how to install for my course has changed a number of times since early 2020 when I put the first one of these out here. And I don't like to put broken links on older YouTube videos, so they link to the respective version. This video is going to make use of the TensorFlow installed Mac Metal, July 2021. And if I make some changes to this file that don't break the video bad enough that I feel the need to re-record it, then I will put a link to the newer version of it here. I'll probably, if they're not breaking changes, I'll probably just modify the file in place. So these are the instructions. I talk about basically what I just told you about in terms of dealing with the multiple versions and dealing with MiniForge. I suggest starting by installing MiniForge. I like to use Homebrew to do this. I'm going to show you how to install Homebrew. It's similar to Yum or apt-get if you're used to Linux. It's kind of like the command line version of the Apple Store, if you want to think of it for that. If you go to the Homebrew page, this command right here is the installation. That's all it takes. So we copy that, and I'm going to open up a terminal. I actually do not have Homebrew installed on this Mac yet, because I just got this Mac, and I put my stickers on it, so I guess it's mine now. Not going to send it back. So let's go ahead and paste that into there. And we'll go ahead and press enter, and it's going to run that. So it wants to run as sudo, obviously. It needs to run as root. So I will go ahead and enter my password, and there's that. It's also going to install the Xcode command line tools. You need that for so many things on a Mac. Very useful to have. If you do some of the other more manual processes for installing this, you will have to install that as a separate step. So I'm going to go ahead and press enter. And now it's installing Homebrew. We'll go ahead and fast forward through this. By the way, I'll probably need to put some more stickers on this computer. Any suggestions? Let me know in the comments. While I'm continuing to wait for this, let me also discuss a few other considerations for this. The Apple Metal, which is the Apple equivalent almost of NVIDIA CUDA, will not run everything in my course. I would say it will run a solid 90% of it. But some of the advanced code that I have, for example, GANs, makes use of two things in particular. One is PyTorch, and PyTorch currently is a lot more difficult to get working on M1. There's currently issues open that have not been resolved yet. Hopefully that will improve soon. But the StyleGAN 2 ADA that we make use of in this course makes use of actual CUDA code, which is C99 type code that actually defines custom kernels for this. So obviously that's not at all compatible with Apple Metal. You could certainly write this in Apple Metal, but StyleGAN 2 ADA just was not written that way. So more advanced machine learning where it's custom written kernels, the Mac M1 is great. The Metal is great, but it's just not as big of an ecosystem as CUDA, so it's not going to see as much compatibility. Now, everything that you would need for the course is available in Colab. So I suggest if you are going to run it on your Mac, like I said, a solid 90–95% of this will work just fine, but some of this will not work. Would you be interested in a video showing what works, what doesn't on the Apple M1, at least in my experience? Let me know in the comments. And also, is this video helping you to install? Definitely give it a like. Thank you very much. Let's continue with the fast forward. I really dislike processes that make you enter the same password several times. It prevents you from letting them run without you watching every step. Okay, it's done with all of that. This is an important step. You're supposed to add Homebrew to your path. And by the way, this assumes that you're using the Z shell. Otherwise, some of this can be different. Mac used to use the Bash shell, but currently they're using the Z shell. Unless you've specifically changed that, that will be the case. Go ahead and run that. Okay, it's modified that. Then we'll run that. It just reloads the shell. I'll go ahead, though, and exit the terminal and start up a new terminal just because I don't completely trust always that everything gets reconfigured like it should. Now I should have the brew command from the command line, and I do. So this is a lot like yum or apt-get or those kind of things. Let's go back to my instructions. So we installed Homebrew, we followed that instructions. They also recommend installing this. I think that was basically done by Brew, but I'll go ahead and execute that. Already installed, so we're good there. And then we're going to do brew install MiniForge. There's a variety of ways to do this. You can also download a shell command from, you can see it in this installation process up here. So if this isn't working for you, you may want to try that as well. But I'm going to go ahead and copy this, run it from here. So that's going to make use of brew, and it's going to install MiniForge. The only way that I could think of this possibly failing is if there's a new version of the Apple Metal and a new version of MiniForge and they're not quite compatible. If I run into that, I'll definitely post something about that. Then you would need to request to install a very specific version of MiniForge. We'll go ahead and fast forward through all of this. It's distinctive base. That shows you what environment you're in. Currently, we're in the base Python environment. If I do which Python, we'll verify that. So see, we're running the Python out of MiniForge 3 bin Python. So next step, we're going to install Jupyter. Jupyter is sort of the IDE that you'll use to execute most of the code in this course. You can also use JupyterLab or PyCharm. We'll go ahead and do this. This will take, it's already installed, so that's handy. Now, what I'm going to have you do, normally there's several things you have to install. You have to install TensorFlow and then the Metal plugin. I also have a number of handy machine learning libraries that I like to install for my course. They're all general purpose. I don't think it would really hurt you installing them, even if you're not taking my course. You can see them all here. It's scikit-learn, pandas, all very standard stuff. You will need this TensorFlow Apple YAML file, and you'll execute this command. I already have this loaded onto my system, so I'll go into where I have it, because I did a clone on my course, and you can see the YAML file there. If you don't want all of the material from my course, just download the YAML file. I have a link there, and make sure you're in the same directory as it when you execute this command. You'll need that YAML file that I just mentioned. If you don't want all of my course material, just download the YAML file. I have my course material already loaded, and there it is. I'm going to go ahead and execute this conda environment create command. It is going to go ahead and create a TensorFlow environment that has all of those packages installed, as well as TensorFlow and the Metal plugin that's going to let you use the GPU capabilities of your M1 Mac. We'll fast forward through this. This tends to take a bit of time. So now we will do the next step, which is conda activate TensorFlow. That's also in my instructions. And there we go. We are now in TensorFlow. And I'm going to install nbconda, which lets me link this kernel that I've created, TensorFlow kernel, into Jupyter. And it does all of this. Proceed, yes. We'll fast forward through this. All right. I'll show you what that is in a moment. And we have to do this command here, which is actually going to link it. You can have multiple of these installed in your Jupyter, and that's what I very commonly do for different projects that I'm working on. I don't try to create one Python install that has everything I needed, because that gets unwieldy and I lose track. I tend to create an environment for each, or often a Docker image for each, depending on what I'm doing. All right, we'll enter that. It's now linked into Jupyter. So now we'll go ahead and run Jupyter Notebook, which is the next step in my instructions. And here we are in Jupyter Notebook. I'm going to create a new notebook, or I could just load the file that we were running from if you've downloaded it. But I'll just go ahead and create a new environment of TensorFlow 3.9. That's the environment we just created. Very important that you select that, or you may not have TensorFlow installed. So we go back to here, and we're going to copy and paste this code, which will let you know if everything worked. This is where you cross your fingers. I'll go ahead and run this. Takes a moment. We'll fast forward. You can see these three coming up here. That's part of Apple Metal, which is a good sign. Saying GPU available is an even better sign. So we are completely installed and ready to go. And if you want to check it, just load up any code that uses TensorFlow just like you normally would. Any of the, like training the ResNet would be a great example in my material. Go ahead and run it. You'll see it start up. Metal device set to Apple M1, all very good sign. And if you go to the activity monitor and see the percent GPU, there it is. It takes it a moment to get started, so if you don't see something on the percent GPU at first, don't panic. It may also be downloading. So the fact that we're in Epoch 2, GPU is pegged at 88%. That's actually a pretty good sign. So if you're seeing this correctly, congratulations, you have the GPU working. Thank you for watching this video, and please subscribe to my channel, follow along with the course. Or if you're one of my students, welcome to the course. We'll have a lot of fun this semester learning deep learning. Thank you for watching this video, and if this was helpful, please give the video a like.